Hello, it is Cindy Walter, the Healthy Knitter, and welcome to episode 32 of my knitting podcast. And I am back home. So, welcome if you have not been here before. And to those of you returning, thank you so much for being here. And I enjoyed our time in Taiwan so much and was able to just share a little bit with you twice. I got on and shared a little yarn haul of some shopping I did. And then I was able to do a podcast with my daughter, Katie, which of course brings me tremendous joy when I am with her and get to knit with her. And we had a ton of fun together. So if you missed those, feel free to hop back and check those out. But wow, what a trip. I was gone from my home for a month. That's the longest I've ever been away from my home. I started off with a conference in Arizona at my health and wellness company's headquarters. And then I went from Arizona to California, met my husband, and then we were off to Taiwan for 3.5 weeks for my son's wedding. So my son Tyler and Justine were married on March 1st. And it was just amazing. She is Taiwanese, so we did both traditional Chinese customary wedding ceremonials, and then we also did a Catholic wedding in a beautiful church and had a reception that was kind of bringing both worlds together. And we had about 40 guests from the US, family and friends that were able to be with us. And we had activities planned for every day leading up to the wedding so that all these people that were coming and investing their time and money for the expensive flight to get there, that's the biggest expense is the transportation to get there. We wanted to make it kind of a once in a lifetime experience for them. So we did teas, we made the traditional Taiwanese pineapple cakes, we did massages, we took them golfing into a professional basketball game, and we went to hot springs and we went shopping into night markets. We just did so many things condensed in that week. And of course, got them married and did all the ceremonies. We had a welcome party and an unbelievable rehearsal party. And what a blessing. This is our oldest. He just turned 30 and our first one to get married. And it was just, I just can't even tell you how wonderful it was. Many of you have probably been through this and experienced it, but first time for me. And we had a couple little glitches of things that happened, but nothing that ruined anything. It was just, it couldn't have been better. So thank you for those of you that sent your well wishes and comments, and especially those of you that do also follow me on social media. I got so many wonderful messages and comments, and was so grateful you guys were thinking of us. And we're glad to be home. Got home on Saturday morning at 5:30. We landed and doing well with jet lag. This is the third time we've been to Taiwan. And for those of you that don't know, they are 13 hours ahead of me where I live on the Eastern time zone. And so that's really crazy. The day out there, you lose an entire day. And the day home, it's like Groundhog Day. You experience it twice. It's crazy. We flew all night long. We left Friday night in Taiwan time. We arrived to San Francisco Friday night on Pacific time. And then we did a red eye to Cleveland and we got home Saturday morning at 5:30 a.m. I mean, mind blowing. And then we lost an hour's sleep because we sprang ahead. I think I'm right with that. And it's so confusing. And for those of you that know me, you're probably cracking up because all I said to my husband was, is this our time change going to help us or hurt us? And he said, it's going to help us. And I'm like, great. That's all I needed to hear. So I did really well Saturday. Saturday night, I was at my desk trying to get caught up on some work. My laptop died while I was away. I definitely had some issues trying to stay engaged with work while I was away. I wanted to stay in touch and, still stay engaged, but really enjoy the moment too. So I tried to do the best balance I could, but now I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I had a hard time staying awake at my desk Saturday night. And so it was 7 p.m. and I'm like, I can't go to bed at 7. The best tip that I ever got when you travel different time zones is to not think about what time it is where you were. Think about where you are now and adjust to it immediately. So I had to force myself to stay up. So I think I stayed up till about 8:30 Saturday night and actually did pretty good. And then Sunday, I got at least a good 8 hours of sleep, maybe more. And then Sunday, I did well all day long. I got tired again in the evening, went to bed a little later. I think it was more like 9 o'clock, slept so sound till 2. And then from 2 to 4, I tossed and turned and I got up shortly after 4. The good news is my daughter that lives in England, Katie, that you've met here on this platform, she is up. She's 6 hours ahead of me. So I FaceTimed with her at 4:30 this morning, having a cup of coffee. And I had 2 cups of coffee early in the morning, and I really would love more. I decided to go with all natural energy with my BIA product that my health and wellness company sells because I didn't want to have any more caffeine that was not all natural. So that's what I'm having. I hope you have a drink, and I'm excited to share with you. I did a little bit of sharing, but I'm going to kind of recap everything, go over my finished projects that I did while I was in Taiwan, and then my works in progress, and just chat with you a little bit about all of that as I kind of journey you through my trip. And I was so excited because, oh, I lost my notes here too. There we go. While I was in Taiwan, my son is now in a house, and he just recently moved. So he did live in downtown Taipei, which is like a New York City, very big city. And we could walk everywhere, and it was super convenient, but also loud like a city. And so his house is a half hour from the city now. So we pretty much drove into the city almost daily leading up to the wedding week because he had errands to run and she had things to pick up, and we were getting alterations and going for photos and doing all of this stuff. So I am not, I get car sick, and I also am a slightly nervous driver. I I'm not a backseat driver really, but I can tend to jump and make noises, and the person that's driving might get annoyed with me. So I decided really quick into this trip that I was going to sit in the back seat, even though it could make me car sick, and I was going to knit because the thing that there's a million things I love about Taiwan. The thing that I don't like is everybody rides scooters, and it's a very busy city, and the scooters, if you hit them, it's your fault. And they cut right in front of you. So you'll be driving, paying attention, and they just cut right in front of you from both sides. And it's scary. I do not like it at all. And my son is an amazing driver. He's driving his wife's, so his father-in-law's Land Rover, which is a big car for Taiwan, because they have to squeeze into these tiny car spaces, and he does phenomenal with squeezing parallel parking, squeezing into these tiny spaces. He's a really great driver, but people are always constantly cutting in front of him. So I sat in the back seat and very quietly just did my knitting, and never ever did I shriek or make any noises that would annoy him from the scariness of the traffic and the scooters coming in and out. But I got a lot of knitting done because of that. So it was kind of a win-win. It kept my nerves calm. And if you know me from watching this podcast, one of the things I love about my knitting is it helps me manage stress. And I really look at all areas of my life. How can I lower stress? And that was something I physically had to do so that I wouldn't be stressed out driving into the city every day. So the good news is I got a lot of stuff done. So it's not going to be in any order or anything. The first thing I wore in my last podcast was this adorable vest, and I don't have anything on today. Busy day today, but I love this vest, and it was so easy to make. I misunderstood the pattern a bit, so I've got it figured out. I'm on my second one. I'm making 3 of these, and I'm on my second one, but it's a different yarn. And even though it said the sizing was the same, I bought the proper amount of yarn, but I'm running out. So I'll show you that in just a second when we get to the uh, works in progress. But anyway, this is my go-to vest by Brenda Lam in Juniper Moon Farm Mallow Rose Quartz color. And I had 2 skeins. I did it in 2 skeins, and it was I think, 100-gram skeins, so 200 grams of yarn. And so then I started my second one, and I love the color. I love the feel of this. It's wonderful. But I'm almost out of yarn. So, like, if you look at this, oh, let me go this way. I'm working on the back right now, so this will be a better way to show it. I'm running out of yarn. So it's the same yarn, just it's a little thicker is all I can say. Well, it's not the same yarn. It's not the same yarn at all. But size-wise, it's the same. But I'm using more of it, I guess is the way to say it. It's kind of it feels thicker. Even though it's like the same size, it feels thicker. This yarn is Blue Sky Fiber, Woolstock North, and it's super bulky. And anyway, I had 2 skeins of it, and this is 150 grams. So I had 2 skeins of it, and I am almost out. This is all I have left. So I'm going to have to get another skein of it. So it's on hold right now. I will just get more and finish it up. It looks like the sizing is going to be just fine. For some reason, it's just going very quickly through the yarn. But anyway, I will be making it in the burgundy, and then I'm going to do this taupe color as well. They're not all going to be for me. Probably 2 will be gifts and 1 for me. And I might keep, I don't know. I don't know which colors I'm going to keep for myself yet, but it's a cute, cute vest. And it's my first vest that I've ever made. And I enjoyed the process of it. It was very, very easy. So that might be a pattern that you enjoy. If you need a vest or a good idea of something to make that's pretty quick, or you have yarn you want to use up. So it's my go-to vest by Brenda Lam. All right, the second thing I'll show you is I made 3 pairs of socks. So these socks are vanilla socks, Crazy Sock Lady, her pattern, and these are in Kelbourne Woolens Perennial yarn in the color gold. The number is 56, and I just wanted a solid color. So maybe a little more boring, but I can wear them with a lot of things. I love the mustard gold color. They came out great. So I will enjoy those. Those are for me. Then I made the Mahalle top-down sock by Urth Yarns. And this one is more of a longer sock. More like it's not a knee sock. It doesn't go all the way up to the knee. It probably goes mid-calf, but just adorable. And this made me fall in love with self-striping yarn. I will be totally using more self-striping yarn and doing more. I did a Christmas pair, if you have been watching all of my episodes, with a Yorkshire Spinners Christmas yarn that they came out with. And that was my first self-striping. This is my second. And it's just, they call it potato chippy when it's so addicting. You just keep wanting to do more, do more, do more with it. And with self-striping yarn, that's just the way it is. You don't want to stop. You want to keep going and going. So I was excited to finish those. Those 2 I had casted on for the trip. So that was kind of fun to cast them on. They were going to be my works in progress while I traveled. And I got both of those done. And then I casted on another pair. And I just finished those right after I got home. And if you watched my episode with my daughter, Katie, we realized I wasn't doing the proper thing on the heel flap. I was just knitting. I wasn't knitting and then slipping a stitch. And so this pair I did properly, and it's a little thicker of a heel, and I love it. So obviously all my socks will now be done properly. I figured out what I was misreading in the pattern, and this pair is another vanilla socks pair in Symfonie hand-dyed yarn in the color Cafe Rose. And I will be keeping these for myself. I am going to be making some gift socks in the new year. My goal was to make 1 pair of socks a month. And I wanted a nice collection for myself, but then I also want to be able to give socks away. And I did give some Christmas socks away for Christmas presents this year, and I want to do more of that. And one thing I ordered was here when I got home, and I was so excited, the sock project. And many of you probably already follow Summer Lee, but if you do not, she has a great podcast. She's just fun to watch. And I tagged several pairs that I want to make in here. I'll show you a couple of them. Um, I want to use scraps. So she's got a scrappy sock pair that I thought, oh, that'll be great because I'm starting to get quite a stash of scrappy yarn. So I thought that would be a fun one to make. Color blocked ribbed socks. The first socks I ever made were ribbed socks. They were thicker socks, more like house socks, not so much to wear in shoes. But these I thought would be great to make. I like the rib socks especially for gift giving, gift knitting, because they can stretch. So if they're not 100% the most accurate size, they could probably still work as a gift. So I want to make those. I wanted to do some color work socks, and I just thought those were so doggone cute. They look like little daisy sunny side up socks. And I think I have two more tagged here. I probably will use different colors, but I just thought those were adorable. Those are, what is the name of this one? Uh, Color Work Socks. Uh, they're called Scrimshaw socks. And then the last pair in the book is called Harriet socks. And this had a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, but cabling in the sock. So those were the pairs I wanted to make. But the thing I was most excited about, and I think I downloaded this pattern. I watch her podcast, and I do not think I printed it yet. I'll have to do that. She made an athletic sock. She also walks. She has a dog. She walks and knits. And she made an athletic sock that has arch support. And that one I am really excited about because I do a lot of exercising and walking, and I would love to be able to do that in hand knit socks. So I already paid for the pattern. I just need to print it out and stick it in my book, but I'm very excited to try that one as well. All right, so four finished projects in my month being gone. I'm over the moon, over the moon with that. And my goal of making a pair of socks a month, I'm ahead of the game because I think I made a pair before I even left. So that might be pair number 4 for the year. So, oh, I feel so great about that. I did not annoy my son being a backseat driver and screeching when he had to hit the brakes a couple times pretty hard to not hit a scooter that cut in front of him, and I didn't have to shriek. So it was kind of a win-win on that. All right, so some whips that I have going on. I want to finish this project. You have seen it before if you've been following me. I bought this universal yarn to make a cafe cable set. So it is a hat and scarf set that has cabling in it. And I made the hat pretty quickly. It's very similar to the Jason hat. Looks small, but it stretches and it fits me perfectly. And I love the lime green in it. So when I fold the ribbing up, I really try to give it a small fold because I want to see that lime green. I just love that color. So it'll be fun to work it up in the scarf. So I had started the scarf before I left on my trip. Last time I showed it, I was here. This is my progress keeper. So the last day or two, I've worked on this a bit and I've, made some progress on it. So there we are with that. I'm going to move my progress keeper now so I don't forget to do that. And then I'll show you where I'm at next time I podcast with you guys, but I'm working on that. I'd like to finish that. When I got home, first thing my husband and I are both identical with we need to unpack everything, get laundry done, and get organized and settled immediately. So we started all of that on Saturday, and then he went to get our mail. We had tons of mail to go through, a couple little packages. So we got through all of that. And then Sunday morning, I woke up and we actually did not have to sing in our church choir. And we didn't end up going to church then because we just thought we needed that morning, which shame on us. We should have gone anyway, but we did not. And we just utilized that time to just continue to get caught up on things. And I felt cluttered in my office. So my office space, I have a couple shelves of all my yarn and all my knitting stuff is all right here. And then my office, I'm sitting in my office where I work, and I was feeling cluttered. And I looked around and I'm like, these snowmen have to go. I'm a big decorator. 3 times a year, I decorate for Christmas, and then I just take down the Santas and the Merry Christmases, and I leave my snowmen up all winter. Then I take that down, do a big clean, and then I put spring summer decorations out, and then I also have fall decorations. So 3 times a year, above all of my office, count of my office, my desk area. In my kitchen, I have cabinets. I have a large, long kitchen. I have tons of decorations in there, and then in my family room. And so I just decided to take down the snowmen in my office yesterday. Well, if you have children and you've read the book, if you give a mouse a cookie, you know what I'm going to say. I got started and I couldn't stop. It was like, okay, I need to take all the snowmen down. I'm done with winter. It's March. I want spring. So I asked my husband if he'd help me. So he had to go up into our crawl space, get all the boxes down for me, and he helped me. 2 hours later, we were all done with that project. I usually go right into cleaning and then putting the next decorations up. And I told him I would not do that. We needed some time to recover. But that's my plan for this week, is then to get up there and clean, and then redecorate for spring and summer, because typically when I do that, it's magic. It becomes spring and warms up and the sun is shining and life is great. So we'll be doing that. All right. So that is a work in progress. And then I did start another pair of socks. I will always have a pair of socks going. I've made this decision. These are the easiest things to do when I'm working out and when I'm not outside. Today, I went rucking outside with my weighted backpack. It was glorious. I went with my girlfriend Dana, and that was wonderful. So when I do that, obviously I'm not knitting. I'm visiting and catching up when I'm with someone else. But when I'm home and I'm alone working out, I love to do my socks on the bike or the treadmill or the elliptical. And so this is another new pair. So this is vanilla socks again in Symfonie hand dyed yarn again. And this color, did I? It's not Cafe Rose. I might have to get back to you on the color on this one. I typed I typed up the wrong color. It is Riverbank. That is the color for this one, Riverbank. And so working along well on these, and I will do my heel flaps perfectly and get them done the right way this time. And then lastly, my Victoria cardigan. I did not take this with me because it was too big and bulky. This is my first steeking project. If you've been around, you see I had a twisting error at the very beginning that I decided to leave because I feel like when I steek, it's going to be absolutely fine. I've talked to enough people. I'm pretty confident with that. So I was working on this and I was a little bit further than this. And this cardigan, I've done one cardigan sweater before, and I've done a lot of sweaters. And this one had you doing a waist, like decreasing for your waist and then increasing again. And I did that. I followed the directions for that. And I didn't like the way it looked in the yarn. I love this yarn. I've worked with this Rauma yarn before, and I did not like the look of the increasing and the decreasing. So I made the decision this morning to rip out about 5 inches of this. And I have never done the lifeline technique before. I was talking to my daughter and she had done it before. And I thought, I'm going to do that because this has like 200 something stitches on it. And I just didn't want to deal with making a mistake if I was going to tear this out. So I got on YouTube and I researched, figured out how to do it properly. And I did it and I tore out a good 5 inches. And then I've been just reknitting it while I was catching up on some Zoom calls that I missed while I was away for work. I was catching up on those and I started reknitting this. And I'm happy to say, once I finish this small amount, I'm caught back up to where I was. So I know I'm going to be very, very glad I did this, because really with a cardigan, does it need to be tapered? I think it's going to be fine without tapering it in and out. And I don't really modify patterns very much at all. I really don't. I really follow them pretty much to pattern. But I love this, and I did not like the way it looked. And I thought, I want to wear this and be so excited about it. I don't need to taper it. It's fine. So that was my decision. So anyway, I am going to finish this probably pretty quickly because it's a great yarn, big needle, works up super quick. So my goal is to be well underway. It probably won't be done by the next time I come here because I'm trying to come once a week, every week. But in the next few weeks, I will have that baby done. So I think that is it. I have a ton of projects in bags ready to go, but I am not going to cast them on until I complete some more of my whips. I think that is it for my finished objects and my whips. And the only other thing I wanted to chat with you about is as I completed these three pairs of socks and the vest, and gosh, I was well underway on this other vest. I could have had that completed if I didn't run out of yarn as well. I really thought about when I finish projects, my confidence goes up. And I heard people talking about finish it February. February was the month to finish your projects. And I think we need to have that concept every single month. It is great to have the excitement of casting on a new project. And I don't get overwhelmed by having a lot of things casted on because then I have choices. When I have knitting time, I can decide, do I want something quick and easy that I can talk to other people and just knit in the round, or am I focused and I can have some focus time to really follow a pattern and chart and all of that? And I have choices, but I really want to be in the habit of finishing something every single month because that feeling of accomplishment just gives you that extra, I don't know, that extra something that makes you want to continue to do more and more. And completing things, it's just a wonderful feeling of fulfillment. And I think about that, also, when I exercise more, I get healthier and fitter, and I can see my muscles growing. When I eat clean, I feel healthier. I feel less bloated. I feel more energy. I sleep better. So it's really in every area of our life. When we do more of something and we practice more of something and we complete things, we just have that overall feeling of success. And so I just want to encourage you, if you've got some things casted on that would make you feel really, really great to complete and finish, move it up in your queue. Get it done. Check it off your list. Finish it. It can be finish it March. Doesn't have to just be February, but finish it because you will feel so proud of yourself for completing it. And I know when I complete something that's been sticking around for a while, that even feels better. And then it gives me, I set goals for myself. Like I have another sweater ready to go, but I'm not casting it on until this one's done because that's going to be my treat. When I finish this one, then I can cast on my next one. And I'll have projects going like that. So figure out that reward system for you, what works best for you. But completing it and finishing it just makes you feel fabulous. So that's my encouragement to you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am going to plan knit along soon. I just wanted to get my ducks in a row and get caught up on things at home first. But for those of you that I've been so blessed to be on Zoom with, knitting together, I have not forgotten. I will get something probably later in March put out here shortly so that we can see each other again and knit together. Until then, let me know what you are working on. I want to hear your hopes, your plans, your goals for your knitting projects, and I will continue to share mine with you. As always, I love hearing from you. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, like and comment, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day.